Hey, everybody, will you join me in welcoming Randy and Pat Mortensen to the stage? Yes. So excited to have you guys up here. Thank you for joining us. Now, some of you may know this, but Church of Viera actually has 4 international partnerships, and Randy and Pat lead one of those partnerships that's in Haiti. I actually got to meet, they attend CAV here, and I got to meet Randy and Pat about 2 years ago, and I was intrigued. I was intrigued just getting to know them, and Angela and I, my wife and I, got to go on a trip with them to Haiti about a year ago, and I can remember coming home on the flight home from that trip. Angela and I had this conversation. We loved the trip. We had a great time. We got to see the different things that you guys were doing in Haiti, but I can remember Angela and I thinking just so much respect and admiration for the two of you, the way you treat each other, what you've been through, what you're doing now, and we thought to ourselves, how do we end up like Randy and Pat when we get to that stage of life? And I mean that sincerely. I'm a huge fan of you guys, and not just because of the work you're doing, but also because of who you are. And we're honored to have you guys as a partner. I think after just a few minutes this morning, you guys are going to be a fan of theirs too. And so we wanted to get them in front of you. We wanted to allow them the opportunity to share who they are, what they're doing in Haiti. So why don't we start with this? Randy, tell us a little bit about just who you guys are.
Well, it's hard to live up to this introduction, but my background is finance and energy, with enough evidence to convict me of being a serial entrepreneur. Started out in the banking industry, went into financial services, built a couple of companies, and the last one was actually acquired by a $10 billion gas and electric utility out of Minneapolis. So I became a VP of that utility. God had a different plan for my life. He actually set me free from alcohol about 28 and a half years ago. So I'm an author of a forthcoming book titled God Took Me to Las Vegas to Get Sober. So look for that. That's coming. So I'm fortunate to be able to speak to men and women in corporate America and in our faith communities about crushing the stigma of substance use disorders. So if you would have told either Pat or I 15, 16 years ago that we'd be doing what we're doing today, we'd have said you're smoking crack, because there was nowhere in our plan, because Pat had a great business that she can tell you a little bit about.
Yeah, I was working in the travel industry, planning destination honeymoons and weddings in the Caribbean. And we would be on the beautiful beaches down there and say, God, someday maybe you would give us a ministry down here. And he said, okay, how about Haiti? And we said, what?
Haiti was not part of the plan, right?
Haiti was nowhere on the list.
But here you are 14 years later. You guys are leading Worldwide Village. You've been doing that for quite a long time. Tell us about Worldwide Village and what you're doing in Haiti.
Well, what I say often is we run it more like a business than a ministry. But there's 4 pillars that we're really focused on, and we've gained these 4 pillars just from interacting and engaging with community leaders where we work in Haiti. And we sit down with them twice a year and ask them what resources they have, what their goals are, and how we can come alongside them to accomplish their goals. So we've actually honed in on 4 pillars that we refer to. Spiritual development is the first. We leverage technologies to do Zoom calls on a monthly basis, where we have American pastors actually training our Haitian pastors, so that the spiritual development is crucial for us. Pat can tell you a little bit about the second one, which is the education.
Yeah, when we first started going to Haiti, we started in sponsoring some kids in school, to get kids in school. And about 14 years later, we have 5 schools that we support with approaching 1,200 students. We do that through a student sponsorship program, much like some of the bigger organizations that do that. But underlying everything that we do is an educational component. So no matter what project we're working on, we try to transfer the knowledge that we have to others, so that they can continue on doing that after we're not there anymore.
Yeah, and the third pillar is really healthcare. The pastors have talked about having no access to healthcare. And so we were blessed in the last year to open a $250,000 medical center. And so if you have any medical background, we want you to come and join us and check us out and support the work we're doing there. Because we've done some research to know that hypertension is a major problem. Just from the ethnicity issues, hypertension and diabetes are significant challenges. There's also issues with cervical cancer. So feminine hygiene is not the norm for young ladies, so there's a very, very high rate of death from cervical cancer. So we've We've partnered with some international organizations to actually work on that. And then also community development is a critical component. We talk about the need for housing, and we talk about agribusiness, and one of the things on our radar right now is a meat processing center, because the fishing co-op that we partner with actually catches 1,200 to 1,500 pounds of fish per day. So we're looking, how do we leverage the productivity that's already in the communities where we work?
Incredible. I got to see each one of these pillars when Angela and I went, and it was cool to be able to work alongside of each and see what you guys are doing there. We actually have a trip going to Haiti on November 9th, this coming November 9th through the 16th. So I want you to talk about, just briefly, about what trips look like. But before you do that, Randy, tell us a story about your first time to Haiti, why you ended up going down there, and kind of how all of this started.
Well, now I have to share the dirt here. Is that, yeah? The first time I went, we have a son that was 17 at that time, and he was really struggling with life. And so a couple of my former business partners said, well, why don't you take him to Haiti? That's how we got to Haiti. And went with people that I didn't know, went with a church that we weren't attending at the time, but they were going to Haiti. And it was the second and third days that I was on the ground that God just really spoke to me and said, I've been training you how to manage people, how to raise money, how to set strategies for your entire corporate career. It's because the plan that I have for your life is Haiti. And Joel actually broke his leg snowboarding 2 weeks before we were supposed to go, so Joel never got to go with me. But that's how God got us to Haiti.
Yeah, one of the things I love about that story is oftentimes we think we're going to go on a trip, or maybe you've been on a trip and you think, well, the people of Haiti, I'm going to somehow help them. But the reality is God often has something planned for you in your heart, and that's exactly what happened and how all of this started for you. So we have this trip coming up. Tell us about what to expect during the trip. If folks were to be interested in going to Haiti, what do the trips look like?
What I say is God's word talks about us being willing and then being obedient. So we need to be willing first to seek out what God's plan is for us, but then the key component is being willing to be obedient enough to go. And go means serving locally and globally. In my way of thinking, I think the word speaks that to us. And the two questions we always get are, well, what's it going to cost, and what are we going to do? That's the two questions we get from Americans. We take 250 to 300 Americans with us a year to go to Haiti. And what I say is we don't need you to go to Haiti to do something that we can otherwise hire Haitians to do. We want you to go for three primary reasons. First of all is to realize how blessed you are to be an American. The second is to allow God to work on your heart and stretch your faith in ways that we just don't take time in our busy, hectic day-to-day lifestyle here in America. We don't take time to listen and to really dwell on how God's speaking to us. So when you go, we really want you to go to transfer your knowledge, your skills, the gifts, and the passion that you have to our Haitian brothers and sisters. It doesn't matter what your skill set, what your passions are. We will match you up with our Haitian community members so you can be a blessing to them. And it's $950 for an all-inclusive. Remember, Pat came out of the travel business, so it's an all-inclusive that includes every expense that you would ever have. You would never spend a nickel of your own money when you're in Haiti with us unless you want to buy a trinket or something like that, or a souvenir, because we have a 10-bedroom, 8.5-bath guest house that you stay in, so you're not exactly roughing it. If you think you're going to go to lose weight, you're going to be sadly mistaken, because we have awesome cooks at our house, and we really want you to go and not to worry about the money aspect of it. We have tools that will help you send out support letters or help you invite coworkers, or even many employers have matching programs that we will help you to actually come up with the funds, the $950 plus airfare. Living here in Central Florida, we're blessed. JetBlue actually has a nonstop flight into Port-au-Prince, so in 2 hours, you can take off in Orlando and be in Port-au-Prince.
Yeah. That's excellent. You know, I don't know if you guys know, I have 3 little kids at home. I'm busy, as you guys are. We have sports, we have vacations, we have things going on. This is not necessarily something that's on my radar, right? For the majority of people in the room, thinking, okay, maybe if we're reading our Bibles, we're thinking, okay, God may challenge us to go and serve and help. but I've got a lot going on. I'm busy. I don't have the money. Why would we come to Haiti?
Here's and Pat can share here quickly about how much fun it is and how enjoyable it is, but we're fortunate that 95 cents of every dollar that we take in actually goes to the work that we do in Haiti. And we've seen such radical life change in the men and women and students who have gone. People have prayed to accept Christ while they thought they were going to serve the Haitians. Americans' lives have been radically changed. We've seen decisions for Christ made by men and women and young people that have gone. We've also been blessed to baptize people, to make the confirmation of that important life-changing decisions they made. And as Pat will tell you here in 12 seconds, it's a good time.
Yeah, we've been attending CAV for about 5 years now, and I really want to come with my church family. So please come with us because we do have a good time, and you get to hold babies.
Yes, absolutely. Well, part of the win of this morning is we wanted you guys to meet Randy and Pat. We are incredibly proud of them as a church, the work that we're doing. We just sang a couple of songs that talks about Jesus' name being life and love and hope and removing darkness. And the two of you are actually doing that in a completely different country. So we want to say we're proud of you. Thank you for what you're doing. And again, if you guys have questions, please stop by the table. They light up when they talk about Haiti. So ask questions. And if you see them next weekend or any weekend, from here on, feel free to talk about Haiti, ask any questions that you have. All right? Will you guys give them a hand one more time?